Through the world of chaos, we have the ego. Once you accomplish the motion that's on go, which is called the ego, emotional, that's keep going, keep flaring. When your emotions control your mind, and your mind is not right, and your mind thinks in a destructive matter or manner, then this means that ego will be needed for you to arise and come stronger. But that's for those who want a lower frequency, got lower energy, lower self, low confidence, not knowing who they are. And that's when the ego take over. They become selfish. When that ego take over, I'm going to call the ego Billy. So we're talking about Billy here. So when Billy need confidence, what do? He get in the spotlight. He want to take over the spotlight. He don't want to share the spotlight. When that ego take over, the ego want everything. The ego is greedy. The ego say, I'm it. You have no part of it. The ego say, I know everything. But you don't know nothing. The ego becomes separated from the universe. Universe. A unity of what? A unity of spirits. The universal circle. So the ego becomes fixed in itself. Instead of understanding that it's part of something that's greater than itself. It has many parts of itself. So the ego will be one part of the body. So Billy gonna represent one part of the body instead of all of his brothers and sisters. So Billy don't understand. Because I call Billy the ego. What Billy don't understand is that he's part of something that's greater than himself. So when he becomes selfish, because he needs the confidence, because he needs to shine, because he thinks he's that body, he thinks he's what he see, the other images that's on lower frequency just like him. He feed off illusions. So he send out illusions. So what he doing, he creating more illusions out in the world, spreading false propaganda to make himself look good, criticizing people to make himself look good, lowering his vibration. When he think he on a higher pedestal, but he's still on a lower vibration of destruction. You see? So Billy need that ego stroke. Billy need you to praise him. Billy need that attention. So when Billy turn into the spiritual doctor, when he becomes a spiritual master, so when Billy be able to master his emotions or his ego, then he become powerful. He don't need that ego. So that ego says, I am first in everything. I am the all. I am it by myself. I can beat everybody. I'm the hardest thing on earth. Nothing can stop me. When nationality, the ego will learn through the universal spirit, universal force of many, that the ego ain't by itself in this world. It will learn through others that it can be beat by others. That all of this competition is illusion. Nobody can compete with your true self, which is spirit. Nobody can compete with the ultimate truth, which is spirit. Only those who live in their ego live through competition. How can you compete with me when I'm vibrating high? Something that you're scared of. The light that you're scared that you run from. The light that you want to be, but you criticize. And that you run from. You want this light, but you don't know how to get to this light. And you feel that if you try to reach the light, you feel that you look like a punk. You look like a dummy. You look stupid. You feel that you can't reach it. So now you're living in your ego. So the ego becomes your light. And this light is the dark light. The light that's hidden. But when the ego is hidden for the wrong purpose, this is destruction. You have to become that light, come out that dark state of depression, a dark state of denying yourself. If you're going to become darkness of truth, darkness of strength, because doctors ain't bad as they tell you. So the ego can be used to show other people what the ego is. And so once you master your ego, you can show people that you don't need to be first. You don't need to be accepted. You don't need this and need that to compete with others, because you know you are it. You can walk and smile, have your head high, because the spirit walk with you in every environment. And somebody said to Billy, when Billy overcame his ego, they said to Billy, they said, "You want all the attention. You want my attention, Billy?" Billy said, "No, I don't want your attention. I am the attention. I could be weighed in the corner. You still recognize me. I could be silent, doing nothing. You still recognize me. I don't need to stand out no more. I don't need to seek your attention. I don't need to seek," because that was the ego self. Now Billy done became a spiritual doctor, a spiritual guru. They done transformed. So when the ego is master, we become better than what we are. We know that everything is meaningless, that when people go through depression, we know that it's temporary, that you can conquer anything. So once you conquer that ego, because a lot of people live in their ego, especially the masculine energy, and this is why they beat up on women. This is why they compete with women. The same thing with women. That's why they compete with their man. They live in their ego because they need this confidence. They need this scrim. The only thing that can give you scrim is the spirit. Knowing that you're a part of something that's powerful than yourself. Knowing that you connected with everything that deal with the forces of nature. Because you got the forces of nature within your own being. You need water to live. You need earth to live. You need everything that nature consists of to live. So once you know yourself, you don't have to compete. I could walk in a room. I don't need no attention because people see me. You see, I don't need to lead the group. I don't need to be a boss or a leader. I am one automatically. I don't need to compete with others because I know myself. You see, so Billy had to go through that, and Billy is the ego. I call Billy the ego. So Billy used to want to compete with your guy. Billy always want to be on top, and then when he get on top, he know that ain't it. Now he got trying to reach another goal. He keep going because it get boring being on top. Now he got money. Now it get boring because it's an illusion. It just keep you going and going and going and wanting more, like lust. Keep you going and going. You lust for sex. You want more sex. That mean keep you lusting. You think you're gonna get fulfillment, but you never get fulfillment because it's an illusion. The only fulfillment that you will have is knowing who you are, knowing what you're part of that's greater than yourself, to keep you smiling and keep you up. And knowing that this powerful force is with you every day, walking with you, especially your ancestors. And so once you know this, you don't have to worry about Billy, the ego, because you are the master of the ego. We all have an ego. We all go through it. We all want to prove that we're smarter than the other. In actuality, nobody's smarter than the other. See, that's the ego talking, you see? Once you learn that the ego talk, it won't be no competing about who's smarter than who. We all call each other dumb, each other this and that, all these names, but we're not none of these names. We actually this spirit. We actually here that's in his body, a spirit that's in his body. So when we leave the body, spirit goes back to the universe. It goes back to the powerful force, which is the great spirit. Some say God. It goes back. It goes back. And so just let you know, we're here to experience this life. We are having a human experience. We're not the body. We're not these names, because it's temporary. Anything that's temporary, we're not. The only thing that's permanent is spirit. It will forever be. And of course, there's reincarnation and other forms. And some of you felt like you've been here before, because spirit becomes something else, you see? So when we say Billy understand now, because Billy had to master himself. Billy had to go through things. And sometimes Billy wouldn't even make it if he wouldn't made a change to see the transformation of himself, the ego. And so we're talking about Billy will be set in our cultures. In a biblical term, be Satan. But you understand that God was always the ruler in the Bible. He was always the ruler. Even he had sent Satan to tempt people, you see? So God was the light. And Satan was the one who wanted his own power. He didn't want to connect with others, you see? He thought that I'm it by myself. But really, God would be like a universe of energy, a universe of spirits. So when you overcome your selfishness and understand that you're part of something that's greater than your ego, then you just sit back and relax and don't have to worry. And knowing that when people say they're intelligent, they need that fire to keep their confidence. When people say they need this to keep them strength. Even when they got material things, after a while they get tired of that because it's temporary, it's illusion. You see, the only thing that a lot of us need money for is a little comfort. That's how they feel. But we can all make a way. Always make a way. You know what I'm saying? When you overcome that ego, you know what I'm saying? Even the spirit will make a way. You manifest things and when you start thinking correctly. And so to understand the ego is to look at it and dissect and decode it what the ego is. So once you understand that you live in your ego, a lot of us, we blame others for our troubles, but we are our own troubles because the choice that we make is the choice that we make that cause these troubles. And so with this being said, Billy, you got to put Billy in check. Just like you try to put a female in check, put Billy in check. Just like you try to put your kids in check, put Billy in check, which is the ego. See what I'm saying? So once you get Billy in check and understand it and master Billy, you become powerful. You don't need to fight with people, compete with people. Because people are just having a human experience. That's all. Just like you. So with this being said, I'm out. Beautiful people. Shay.